Welcome to the Daily Energize Podcast, your quick dose of clarity, quick tips, and the spark you need to shine bright. Here's your host, Spencer Jones.
Hey Energizer, happy Friday. I hope you are having an awesome day, and I hope you had a great week. A week that was just fulfilling, that brought you lots of joy and positives, and I hope you're ready for an incredible weekend that's filled with even more joys and positives. This last week we talked about fearlessly aligning, right? Or aligning fearlessly with the person you are becoming. So I'm curious, how did that go for you? Let's do a quick check-in. No judgment. If it, went great, if it didn't go great, that's okay. Don't beat yourself up. Just check in, see how it's going. So, and then, did you smile? Did you intentionally smile at people? I would invite you to keep doing that. What about flipping that statement of I can't or I don't to how can I, right? Flipping it into a question. And then obviously yesterday, so we talked about mantra and all of what that can do for us. And I'm curious what your mantras are. Today, for this episode, I want to share a quote with you, a quote by Viktor Frankl. He was a Holocaust survivor. He was in a concentration camp and survived. And he wrote the book, The Man's Search for Meaning. Awesome book. He talks about being in the concentration camp and the mindset that he needed, the search for meaning, and how we can find happiness even in the darkest of times. And I can only imagine what the pain and suffering he went through and his other peers went through in the concentration camp. Just wild. In any case, he shared this quote, or he has this quote, and I want to share it with you today. And it's, when we are no longer able to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves. Interesting, isn't it? Let me say that again. When we are no longer able to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves. And that quote is from Viktor Frankl again. I'm not sure if that's from his book. I can't remember if that's in the book, A Man's Search for Meaning, but highly recommend the book in any case. The concept of that fits with what he experienced. At least in my mind it does. Because he wasn't able to change the situation of being in the concentration camp. He wasn't able to change the fact that he was a prisoner, that he had to do hard labor, that he had to do all these things. So then, what could he take control of? It's that idea of, all right, what is in the realm of your control? Focus on that. Stop focusing on the things that are outside of your control. Trying to control all those things, right? That leads to stress, anxiety, depression, leads to all the things that don't serve us. Is trying to control the things that we can't control, that are not within our realm of control. So we focus on the things that are. If you focus on that, then things can start to change in whatever direction you're trying to move them. So in his case, he was no longer able to change a situation. He's in this concentration camp. So then he said, we are challenged to change ourselves. Well, then he had to work to change his thinking, his mindset about that situation, his actions of what he did while he was there. Now, hopefully none of us will ever be in a concentration camp like that. And hopefully none of us are in any situation anywhere near that. But I believe, actually, I am confident we are all in situations in our life that we can no longer change, that are out of our sphere of control. We are no longer able to change that situation. And we are in those often in our lives. Again, not as dire or as big as what he experienced, but big enough in their own way in our life. So when that happens, we can get frustrated, we can get irritated, we can, heem and haw and try to force change. Or we can choose the challenge of changing ourselves into a person that can shine even in that situation. So I invite you to think today and this weekend, are you trying to change a situation that you cannot change? You're no longer able to. And how can you, because of that situation, how can you change yourself? What does that look like? What does that feel like? What action steps do you need to take? How can you do that? Ask yourself those questions. Let your subconscious mind start answering them for you. Reach out to me and other energizers, other people and books and things to help guide you on that journey. There's so much in life we can change. There's also a ton in life that we cannot. But we can't always change ourselves. We are incredible beings who have this incredible power that we don't even recognize or realize the vast majority of the time. We can be an alchemist, and it's so incredible. But we have to be willing to embrace it. So that quote again from Viktor Frankl, when we are no longer able to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves. Hope that gives you something to think about this weekend. Keep shining bright. Have an awesome weekend. And until next time, until Monday, I'll catch you later.